Prominent Republican politicians and conservative commentators are now openly peddling the conspiracy theory that the reason that House Republicans are suffering so much dysfunction and so many resignations are because an anonymous cabal of billionaire leftists are trying to steal the majority and bribe Republicans into retiring. A conspiracy theory so absurd that even Republican Speaker Mike Johnson visibly recoiled from it. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bell before you go. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, friends, it's amazing to see the lengths to which and the contortions that the Republican Party will suffer in order to avoid taking personal accountability. This is coming from the party of so-called personal accountability, to basically explain away their dysfunction and their inability to do anything, right? So we have seen a number of announcements coming from Republican congresspeople that they would not be seeking re-election, and some critical resignations before the end of their term. Kevin McCarthy, the former speaker, was one. Ken Buck, a prominent a far-right member of Congress, a member of the Freedom Caucus, he resigned early. And Mike Gallagher, a four-term moderate Republican, is also announcing his premature resignation. And it's narrowing, it's winnowing that razor-thin Republican majority. But again, rather than take accountability and accept what these Republicans are telling the rest of their party, which is that this party is nuts, it's extreme, it's dysfunctional, now you have people like Matt Gaetz publicly declaring that the real reason this is going on is because, again, super rich leftists, and it's a conspiracy of the left, they're enticing Republicans to leave Congress in order to steal the majority. This is a quote from Matt Gaetz and his official Twitter page. Let me be clear. There is an organized effort by the political left right now to buy off and compromise members of Congress to make them quit. They are actually trying to steal the majority that the American people gave to the Republican Party, and they should not have enablers and co-conspirators in our movement to facilitate that. Now, that's unhinged coming from a very prominent member of the Republican conference, but it's also found purchase even on right-wing media. So in right-wing media, you have Eric Bolling, former Fox News host, now Newsmax host, actually pitches this idea to Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. And even Mike Johnson thinks it's absurd.
Advocating this, I've had two congressmen call me, Congress people, I'll say it that way, call me saying there's someone on the Democrat side that's paying off some of these members to leave you with less of a majority. Have you heard that? You want to refute it? Is that nonsense? What are your thoughts?
No, I don't think that's happening. It is a great concern. We have a number of retirements and some people leaving early for various reasons, personal reasons, family reasons. Look, I respect that, but it does give us an extraordinary challenge. Now,
so even Mike Johnson gave his signature eye roll and look of condescension, the same look, by the way, that he was giving behind President Biden's back during the State of the Union. It is an absurd theory, especially because we actually have Republicans who are leaving openly telling us why they're leaving Congress. This was a random clip I pulled from Ken Buck. I think it was towards either the beginning of the year or late last year. No, excuse me. It was towards the beginning of the year when he announced that not only was he not seeking re-election, that he was actually going to resign prematurely. He made it abundantly clear. It's because he's miserable in this Congress because of Republicans.
That miserable right now to be, from the outside in, it doesn't look that fun. From the inside in, is it that bad that you're saying, I'm done?
It is the worst year of the 9 years and 3 months that I've been in Congress. And having talked to former members, it's the worst year in 40, 50 years to be in Congress. But I'm leaving because I think there's a job to do out there that I want to go do.
And he's also said, because we've discussed this in previous videos, that it's because of the dysfunction within the House Republican Conference, the fact that they celebrate January 6th, the fact that they celebrate an insurrection, the fact that they hew so closely to the lie, the debunked lie that the 2020 election was stolen. And again, this is coming from a far-right Republican who believes in abortion bans with no exceptions, who thinks that climate change is a hoax, all the crazy things. Ken Buck is an enthusiastic supporter, except he believes that elections shouldn't be stolen, and when they're not stolen, you shouldn't lie that they're stolen, right? That's what's driving him away. You also have prominent Republican strategists and commentators like Matt Gaetz also point this out on the Fox Propaganda Network, and in which I played this clip before. It's one of my favorites, in which he is just furious with the chaos within the House Republican Conference and that they've done it to themselves.
Let's start right across the block there. Are we going to have another few weeks of trying to elect a speaker, or what happens?
God help us. The House Republican majority is a dysfunctional embarrassment. I mean, Speaker Johnson didn't ask for this job. He stepped up when the House couldn't elect a replacement for Kevin McCarthy. He's trying to manage an unmanageable conference. Republicans need to understand that they control one half of one branch of government, and now they're going to control it by one vote. You can't impose your will on the entire government when you have one half of one branch of government with one vote. The way, if you want, I want to cut spending too. I want to do all these things. If you want to do that, there's a simple way to do it: win elections. Don't nominate lunatics. Get people who can actually win a general election, not just a Republican primary. Take back the Senate. Take back the White House. That's how Biden got the spending through. So that's how, if we want to cut the spending, that's how you get to do it. You can't.
So again, he makes the point that it's a dysfunctional mess. They've done it to themselves. It is completely self-imposed, and it's because they have not culled the extremists from their party. They don't have people who are seriously interested in governing. It's all about, messaging wars and culture war nonsense and PR stunts, the sort of thing that Matt Gaetz, who I began this video with, the sort of thing that he is well known for, and Marjorie Taylor Greene and others as well. So it's not some sort of elaborate conspiracy theory. But again, that just goes to show you how far gone the Republican Party is. They have no ability to take the measure of themselves, personal accountability, engage in self-reflection and introspection. They would rather just blame it on a mysterious cabal. They do this all the time. They probably blame a mysterious cabal of billionaire leftists for the missing sock in their dryer. I would not be surprised. But it's a joke. It should be relentlessly mocked, and I think it's hilarious that even Mike Johnson was like, Jesus, this is so stupid. But I digress. Let me know what you think in the comments.